Good morning. This is Doreen with ThoughtStorm Journal. I want to talk a little bit today about an aspect of reality that we're all missing. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, did anybody hear that? Because it's pretty significant. It actually may be one of the most significant things we can ever know, and people miss it all the time. But this is science. This isn't just some new age stuff. This is physics. Even Einstein said everything's energy. Everything is just energy vibrating at a certain frequency. But what does this have to do with the secrets of the universe? Tesla was trying to tell us that learning to think of everything in terms of energy, seeing everything as the energy that it truly is pretty freaking important, like the most important thing ever. So, what are the ramifications? If everything is energy, then everything you emit, transmit, and transact is energy. This means love is energy, hate is energy, fear is energy, money is energy, social media posts are energy, opinions are energy. But also, your intentions and your attention are energy. And this is important to know. And from what Tesla was saying, understanding this fact is the key to understanding everything. So we might want to pay closer attention to what he was trying to tell us. It all boils down to this. If we think about everything in our lives in terms of energy, we'll figure out things a lot faster. What do I mean? Well, it comes in the form of small examples in everyday life. And keep in mind, this is only one example. I'll discuss others in the future. This is just one. But have you ever noticed that when a problem presents itself into your experience, that's where you put all your focus? We always think we have to try and solve the problem. So what are we doing? We're directing our energy toward all the aspects of the problem. We're giving energy to the problem. And I don't know if you've noticed, but from that point on, the problem just seems to get bigger, more prominent, everything. But the point is about energy. When we try to solve a problem, we need to be aware of our energy. Something like Tesla said, think in terms of energy. If you think about your attention to the problem as energy, which it is, you'll realize that by trying to solve the problem, you're giving too much attention or energy to it. Whatever you put your energy into grows. So when you do that, you're making the problem bigger. And what's worse is that you're not giving your attention to the solution. Everyone's standing there pointing at the problem, talking about what a terrible problem it is, when the solution is behind them, waving and saying, "Here I am." But you're too focused on the problem to see me. When something bad happens, everyone starts getting angry, getting upset, talking about fighting each other, fighting people who they think are the ones to blame for the problem. Well, think about this for a minute. Is that constructive, really? Think about what people are doing when they start getting upset that this terrible thing happened. They're putting all their energy into what is not wanted. And they're essentially wearing themselves out and depleting themselves of the energy they could be using to put toward a possible solution. When was the last time something terrible happened and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Who's responsible? Who's to blame? It's their fault. They need to be punished. This is terrible. They need to be held accountable. Blah, blah, blah. Enough already. What is this accomplishing? Think of how precious your energy can sometimes be and how much you waste being upset for days, or even a friggin' lifetime for some people, about what a terrible problem it is. What if you put that energy somewhere else, like on finding a solution? It rarely occurs to anyone that if they and any other people involved with the problem, if they just turned away from the problem right away and didn't waste any time dwelling on it and put all their energy toward finding the solution, that whole problem would barely end up being a problem at all. But this is what we've been taught. We've been taught to get upset. We've been taught to get angry. We've been taught to direct our energy squarely on the problem and dwell on it forever and ever and ever. And it's actually kind of natural for us to do this. We think that if it's a problem, we need to stay focused on it, like it's some kind of attack dog. If we take our eye off of it, it might kill us. We think in our minds that we need to acknowledge this problem sufficiently. We need to give credence to it. We need to validate it and all those who are upset about it. If we're outraged enough and we pay enough attention to the problem and put enough energy to it, it means we care, right? Because we're good people. We care. Well, how much does it show we care if we never really do anything constructive about it? How much does it show we care if we just keep on harping on the problem and never really do anything to work toward a solution? But this is what we've been taught. And we've been taught that if we don't focus squarely on the problem and try to solve it and figure out who's to blame, that problem will surely be there forever. But this is not actually the case. We have to think about it this way. What we put our energy into grows. And we have to realize that our intentions are a form of energy. So we have to look at the situation critically and ask ourselves, what aspect of this should we put our energy into? What are our intentions about this? What do we want to create? And the answer to those questions determines what we should do. And it makes for much more sensible decisions about what to do. Thinking about our intentions and where we focus our attention as energy that needs to be used wisely changes how we approach problems. So, just suppose the next time a problem arises or a terrible event happens, what if we were to turn our attention away from the problem? You'd think we're going to ignore it completely, right? And then it would go on forever or even blindside us somehow. But if you think of our attention as energy, which it is, where do you think is the best place to put that energy? Into the problem or into the solution? When we turn our attention away from the problem, we're not burying our head in the sand. We're just not giving energy to the problem. So think about everything you do in a day, all the things you get triggered by, all the things you see around you in the world. What's your reaction to them? What kind of energy do you put into them? How much energy do you put towards things you don't like or don't want without even thinking about it? What do you watch on TV? What's the energy of that? Is that an energy you want to grow inside you? What do you post on social media or talk about on a daily basis? What's the energy of that? Is that an energy you want to grow inside you? Is that the energy you want to create for yourself? And what would happen if you just turned away from those things and focused on something that feels more positive to you? If you focus on a result you want rather than dwelling on the problem, pathways to a solution actually open up. Why? Because you decided to change where you direct your energy. You decided to put that energy into a better place. You inadvertently discovered a secret to the universe.